All right, so I was obviously playing 323 on the EPTU, and I don't usually make guides that are, that's not really a guide, but just like do informative videos like this. But this was weird enough that I felt like I might as well make something because people might be trying to do this, and the flight characteristics are so they're significantly different enough that it was like it took me a few minutes to get everything all set up. So first of all, my joystick wasn't working. My joystick wasn't working. Sweet baby. All right. So sweet baby Jesus. When I the left joystick that I usually use for movement, as far as thrust, and this is getting out of hand real quick. Um, I'm getting red over here. No. Okay. So flight movement. Um, the propulsion joystick that I usually use was not working as intended. So yeah, so you have to go into flight movement, which is up here at the top, and it now changed to longitudinal. So I had to set the y-axis on my the left side joystick that I have to the longitudinal. It just wasn't working straight up. Like I just couldn't even go anywhere. Additionally, this is now the Alt C cruise control. It's swapping modes between a sticky or normal mode. It's gonna sticky kind of. So it no longer is going to just thrust up to the maximum that you set the scrolly at. It's actually going to allow you to use your forward propulsion to set it at a sticky point. But that also has a bit of a range on it. So let's just take a look at that. Show you what I'm talking about. Additionally, there's a couple different flight modes that kind of swap when you're playing now. So the first thing that I noticed, we'll actually go back to the quantum mode so I can show that here in a bit. But you can see it's switched to like a guns mode, right? So you're it's just a regular flight mode. SCM guns. I don't think this is necessarily related to master modes, but it somewhat is. Just because it seems like it's doing some of those changes through the game for everybody. Because I think master modes is for certain ships, the way I understood it. Whereas that's not the case for all the ships. Maybe it's not ready. At any rate, you're gonna have to pay more attention to what modes you're in these days because it's gonna change your flight characteristics. And so what I mean by that is clearly you can use your guns and stuff like that. But now I'm set at 0, so I'm gonna go ahead and start going forward. So this is normal, like no difference here. Actually, it looked like I can't go above the line here unless I boost. So it seems like red, you need to boost to get into red, which is interesting, and it's kind of cool. I mean, before that wasn't something that I recall having a problem with. Also, I'm in my F8C, so that'll help me see what's going on with the landing stuff, just a little more visually. It should help a little bit from this particular perspective to see what different modes I'm in. Shy of also just saying landing gear here. Also, on a side note, I'm interested in maybe trading the F8C back in. I mean, it's cool. I like all the guns on it, but as far as like actively using it, I don't find I use it all that much, and it was fairly expensive. So I'm actually tempted to try to like trade it for something different. So let me know what if you guys have a similar, if you guys tried the F8C, do you like it? But yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted to swap it out for something like maybe something that's a concept ship. Maybe if Invictus has some concept ship, which I'm sure they will, in the next couple weeks, I may actually swap it for something like that. Like maybe the carrier ship or something. I don't know. Something I'll have to look at, but just, sorry, I'm getting off track here. But yeah, so here we go. The sticky mode. Let's take a look at that first. And so when you swap to the Alt C now, you're going to get this like half moon or half arc. That shows you're in the sticky mode. So you can see here, I'm not actually just, used to be Alt C would allow you just to start propelling forward and you would go up to the max velocity. It doesn't do that anymore. What you do have to do instead is you just have to use W or whatever it is that you're using to propel yourself up to whatever it is you want to sticky at, and then you can leave it. So no longer I'm not pressing any buttons anymore. But again, you can see I'm not actually going any higher than the red. I have to boost if I want to go past that, and you have to keep the boost on in order to stay past that. I want to put the, that's what I wanted, the power. I'm going to leave power on, and I'm going to do max thruster just to help with the thrust, but I was going to show something a little bit here in a bit. So yeah, so that's how sticky works now. You have to, it doesn't just automatically go forward. You have to, or like it's not like holding up W down anymore. It's, you have to actually get it to that speed. So then I can also let off of it, hit a brake, and then like let off of it. That's, you have to really actively slow down. Now I can also switch back. You can see I'm back to the regular mode, so it's not going to sticky anymore. So yeah, you can just swap back and forth, but the difference there is, again, you have to like set it up, like use W to get up to that speed. So it's like a two-step process. You have to get into the mode, and then forward it up to that spot. I think just turn it down this way too. If I turn decouple off, it sets it kind of, I could set it like in a range, much like you would kind of think. So I can put decouple back on. Yeah, so it's just a little bit different than you would typically expect from, oh, and I'm going backwards. That's funny. Oh, that's interesting. So you can actually do it to go reverse now. You can see I'm actually going negative speed here. So I'm actually reversing because the decouple mode isn't necessarily just, I don't think the Alt-C used to work that way. I think it was always just going max forward up to your thruster. So you can actually go backwards now. You have to pay attention to your speed because it's showing it's negative here, or my velocity or whatever. Not in W. It's going to go back down to 0 there. I actually wasn't forcing it to go down to 0 and then. So yeah, you do have to like send it all the way up. You can see here. Although with the S, like when you're in max, when I was negative speed there, like I'm going now, so I'm going down. It's still going backwards. I'm not holding S down right now. So it's going to go all the way to max 0. Or it goes down past 0 and then it's going negative, full negative. So it's weird that it'll do that, but it won't do that for the positive side. Because now if I hit W, okay, so I do have to get enough, significant enough. It's a little more like absolute with this. Like it takes in the momentum kind of. It's hard to explain, but anyways, that's the sticky. So you turn that off. If you have a couple on it, it'll take it back down to 0. Now the next thing is you actually have a jump mode now. So I'm gonna be quiet here for a second. When I hit B, you'll kind of hear it kick in. So I don't think I noticed anything visually with that noise, but you can see it's gone to like a navigation or QT mode automatically. And the other thing you'll notice is my shields is dropping pretty rapidly. So, and you can't use your guns. So this is where I said it's kind of master mode-y. And to me, what this seems like is it's like a, like the shields and everything, like it's kicking all the power to the QT mode essentially. So it seems like you can't have shields anymore. Obviously this is meant to be like you can't jump away. So now there, boom, my shields have gone down to 0. Now this seems to also increase your max speed a bit too. So like I can actually, and the red bar you can see is significantly larger, but I think I have a higher threshold on my speed. Like, so if I try to set my max speed, I'm actually not holding, I'm not boosting. So it's actually allowing me to go into that red zone that I was talking about before. So you can actually get full speed out of, it's like, it's like telling Scotty to give her all she's got, Captain. So it seems like the nav mode is the way to go if you want to be flying around any long period of time, or if you need to get somewhere in a hurry. But the minute I go out of nav mode, and so this is just jump mode. So now, like you can see this jump point over here. I can jump to that spot, and yeah, just usual jump stuff. It's kind of cool. I like how this. So now it spools on this side, and then it calibrates on this side. Damer's on the other side of this planet, so that's why I can't get to it. That's why it's red. But yeah, if you get to a regular jump point, it works like you get a jump point. Let's see. I'm sure there's no marker or something. Yeah. So here's. This is cruel. No, some security outpost. So, oops. So yeah, so you can see that it's calibrating. Kind of interesting concept. Now let me hit B again. So I'm going to come out of this mode. I'm also going to turn sticky off because I had sticky on. And you can see the speed significant, like the available speed is lower. So that's why it seemed like to me it's almost like a pseudo master mode. Maybe it is a master mode. Maybe this doesn't happen with every ship. But I feel like it's probably, everybody's going to feel the effects of this. It probably is just going to do this all the time. So now, there you go. Now, if I want to go max speed, it's not that like 800. You can see I'm going just under 300 here. I'm actually going 210. If I boost, I think it'll go to about 3. So it gets me about 420, looks like. So, anyways, you can see your speed over here. But yeah, it's less speed now if you're in like the gun mode. You can use your guns. It's just kind of the way it is. Next, landing gear. I haven't found a way to turn this off. So when you are, so I'm gonna be cooking now, right? So let's just turn it up. We're in guns mode. I'm not even coming out of nav mode. I wanted a quick note. So you can see the shields have gone back up, but I have full power to guns. So it's not like that's why it's like it's sapping the power from stuff like shields and guns. It's like it's putting all the power to the QT drive when you're in that QT mode. That quantum drive mode. So yeah, so I didn't have to shift power to shields in order for it to recharge it. It put it right back where it was before, as far as the shields are concerned, once I left that quantum drive mode. So yeah, so you're gonna lose your shields when you do that, and you're gonna be able to not shoot. So if you're in nav mode, you're meant to be navigating or getting away. Okay, so we can see now I'm at full speed here. I'm gonna hit N. I'm still holding down my W key here, and my speed's just dropping like a like a brick.
Landing gear deployed.
So no matter what I do, I can't get this to stop. So it's just like it's lowering. So it's almost like it changes the thrust that you would typically have on the landing mode. So I can't figure out a way to turn this off. I looked at a couple of options for gameplay. I mean, I get it. I think that's a fairly cool option. I think a lot of people put their gear on a lot sooner than that. It's funny with the hollow hybrid theory, doing videos on checking people as they land. I've been putting my gear down late because of that. So that's been kind of a shift and change, but I feel like people shouldn't have to do that per se. But yeah, any of these, like I've tried some of these like proxy default on. I don't know what this does, but it didn't seem to counterbalance that. This G-Safe, none of this stuff, turning this stuff on or off, disable, obviously this is fine. But the speed limiter default on, like none of that stuff seemed to really prevent this from happening, where you can see my max speed is garbage now. Well, you can boost, but shy of boosting, it instantly just starts dropping. If you leave sticky on, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, I'm holding W even. Like unless you're boosting, it's not gonna go up. So yeah. So when you're going to land, you can't see my stuff here, and you can see my gears up. So or my gears down. So yeah, you're really gonna have a really low maximum speed once you put your gear down. The minute you put it back up, so let me put sticky on, and I've got it turned up. No, I'm not gonna boost. I shouldn't have boosted. Now let me go ahead and hit my gear. Oh, it's automatically kind of going up, right? So as I'm hitting W now, it's already back up. So yeah, so it's weird that the way that's. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of cool, especially for newer players. But I feel like it's something you should maybe be able to turn off for an experienced player. I don't say it's annoying or anything. It's just different. This is something you got to get used to. So those are some of the changes I saw. Again, the biggest one being that the joystick stuff, you have to go set that longitudinal change so you can get going with that. The sticky thing works a little bit different. It doesn't just automatically go up to the max speed. You have to kind of make sure you set it up to that speed before you get going. I haven't hit the brake yet, so now I hit the brake. So now that I'm hitting a brake a bit here, I'm not holding the brake now, so it's weird how sometimes it'll just kind of take that and run with it. Yeah, I mean, that sticky seems to stick a little bit. I still kind of play with it because it's kind of a weird thing. If I turn sticky off right now, no, it stopped that time. Last time it was still going, so I don't know. And obviously it's in test mode, so like maybe it's not working as intended. So yeah, so take a look at that. That's kind of the weird stuff. You it kind of takes a little while to get a feel for it. Couple mode, if I decouple it, right, you still kind of keep your speed there. Maybe, let me try this. Let me go to my nav mode. Can I decouple at a very high speed, swap back down to guns mode, and still be cooking? I don't know why someone would necessarily want to do that, but if you want to be able to come in fast. So let me go ahead and let's get up to cooking speed here. Alright, so it takes, so until you spool up completely, you're not going to get the available speed. So it's going to take a while for that to even like come into play. So I don't know, I don't love how it resets the limiter. Maybe that's the safe mode it's referring to. So maybe I'll turn that off here. Actually, let me turn it off now. Proximity, speed limiter default on. I'm going to turn that off. Maybe that's what's a lot. Because it kicked back down. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it kicked back down to like 3/4 when I swapped those modes. Okay, so now we're going to be up here. We'll be cooking. I'm going to set so I've set my max. So we're cooking at about more or less the top speed of what this had before all these changes too. So let me set decouple. So you can see coupled is off. And then let me switch back and turn my B off to go back to the guns mode. Boom, it's just jumping down like instantly. so yeah, you can't, this isn't something you can really trick it per se. Man, I'm down to 210 again. So interesting. Don't know exactly what to think of these changes, but it's something to get used to. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Actually, some ways I kind of like it. But it's something to get used to, and I just wasn't used to it right away. And sorry, I'm like taking too long in this video at this point. Let me try again coming out of this mode. Was it? No. So let me press B to go back into my nav mode. Okay. So now it didn't. Oh, it's not done spooling though. So let's see when it's done spooling. I suspect. We'll see if that setting change I did makes a difference with. It was like a default safe mode. If it keeps this up here, because I'd rather keep it up here. I don't like to mess with. No, it doesn't matter. It takes it back down anyway. So you can see it's set down to pretty close to the speed I was max going before. Anyways, that's about it. But again, you can see the shields. Give them a second here. I don't have any power to shields right now. Oh, I'm in quantum mode, so let me kick that off really quick just to show the shields piece. So I kick that off, and it's instantly putting the stuff up to shields. But again, I don't have max shields right now, so it's again, it's like it disables certain things in order and guns to enable you to have your QT drive. So maybe some ships will have enough power to not have to deal with that. I doubt it because it feels like it's just something they want to have going forward. That's about it. I don't have VTOLs on here to kind of play with that, but those are the major changes. Let me know if you have questions down below, and if you find this kind of stuff helpful, I can test other things out as well if this is interesting enough for people. But yeah, I just found that the flight mode piece here was awkward enough and different enough that I was like, oh, it took a minute. Like, it just took me, I was just trying to capture that gameplay on the cleanup missions for the salvaging pieces for the MCOM, and just to see how much they were nerfed. And at the end of the day, it was just rough to see how much that that flight had changed. Like, I had significantly more time than I wanted to just getting up and running. Now, this is kind of cool. These salvage claims don't cost money anymore. That's another interesting change that I didn't talk about before. Let me know what other stuff you might want me to look at. What's delivery going to give you in money these days? Yeah, so like the delivery package found. I don't know. I can't imagine these are still worth, and they're not. As you level up with these, they're not going to be as safe either. So, okay, yeah. So this is like delivering package. I'll have to see. I'll have to try this and see what the packages are worth. But I feel like even still, so you click this unverified down here. That's how you get a hold of the personal missions, if you will. And you can see here the hammerhead cleanup, and these are still pretty good money. 30K seems like, I don't know, that's fine money for what I would like to have had. Ooh, the 73K is breach and steel. But yeah, that's going to take some stuff for that. Like, you would need gear for that. I like trying to find stuff that people don't need to have too much in order to, like, not even have any gear if they don't need it would be ideal. Cleaner needed. Some of these, yeah, some of these are just long-standing, but yeah, it seems like that those salvage missions are still going to be a really important player. Maybe some of these deliveries, I'll have to play with these a bit. Bounty hunting, obviously, still decent as well, so maybe I can try leveling this up a bit and see what the prices are here. But not everyone's going to have a bounty hunter ship, and so maybe you might have to do the other missions in order to get a bounty hunter ship. I also tried looking at prices, but again, unfortunately, those missions, Xeno threat's still here. But yeah, unfortunately, those missions were still, or the ships are still zero. It's like they don't cost anything, so I wasn't able to see what the price changes might be. So yeah, so please take a look at my guides on, if you're interested in making money and getting the ships you want to buy, do it now before 323 comes out, because I think it's going to be all negative as far as being able to actually get into real bigger ships and making good income. That seems like both those things are going to be kind of squashed, at least from the guides that I've set up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Please, you know, the usual. Please like and subscribe. It'd be cool to get to the 1,000 subscriber mark at least, and then continue on from there. But thanks again for watching. See you guys later.